Have you ever been told, "You make that look so easy"? Or maybe a colleague said, "I wish I had your patience with difficult clients." Often, our first reaction is to dismiss these observations. We might think, "If they only knew how hard I was trying," or "I was just doing my job." These passing comments feel like courtesies, not deep insights. Yet these flickers of feedback are often the first signals of a strength we fail to recognize. They are whispers of a superpower so ingrained it feels ordinary. We spend time and energy trying to understand ourselves through introspection. We take personality tests, we reflect on our past, we set goals for our future. But self-directed exploration has limits. Our perspective is biased. Self-criticism, past failures, lack of objectivity. We are too close to see clearly, like reading the label from inside the jar. The people we interact with every day, friends, family, co-workers, they see results, not just the messy process. Think of the last unexpected compliment. A friend might say, "You always know the right thing to say to cheer someone up." You might have brushed it off, but what if that ability to find the right words is not common? What if it is a rare, valuable skill? Why is it that others can pinpoint our talents with greater accuracy than we can ourselves? The answer lies in a psychological phenomenon known as the curse of knowledge. When we are good at something, it often feels intuitive and effortless. We cannot easily reconstruct the mental processes behind success because they've become second nature. An expert negotiator might not see their skill as special. It's just having a conversation. A natural leader might not recognize their ability to inspire. They think they're just sharing an opinion. Our greatest strengths are invisible to us because they're integrated into who we are. We often devalue what comes easily to us. We tend to believe true skill must come from struggle and hard work. If something is easy, we assume it's easy for everyone, a fundamental attribution error. You might be a brilliant organizer, coordinating complex projects with a simple spreadsheet, a few emails. To you, that's just logical thinking. But to a colleague who can't keep track of tasks, your ability looks like a superpower. They see the outcome, a smoothly running project, and recognize its value. Social scientists show our self-assessments are unreliable. We either overestimate or underestimate our abilities, the Dunning-Kruger effect. People less competent often can't recognize their own shortcomings. Highly competent people may assume tasks are easy for others and underestimate their relative ability. Feedback from our social environment corrects these biases with objective evidence. Others experience the output of our strengths while we are inside the process. Effort anxiety, decision-making clarity, creativity, empathy. They don't feel your internal struggle to find the perfect words. They just feel the comfort those words provide. They don't see your meticulous late-night planning. They just experience a perfectly executed event. Their perspective is unburdened by the process and sees your strength in action with clarity. Their admiration and feedback measure the positive impact you have on the world. The feedback that reveals our superpowers rarely arrives in a formal performance review or a grand announcement. Instead, it's woven into daily interactions, hidden in casual conversations. The key is learning to listen for the subtext. How do you always stay so calm in these meetings? They're not just making small talk. They're signaling your composure is unusual and valuable, especially in high-stress moments. It's a data point, emotional regulation, a core leadership skill. These are diagnostics, not just compliments. The language of envy is often praise in disguise. I envy how easily you talk to strangers. It can feel awkward, but it's deep admiration for a skill they lack. They're pointing to your social fluency and effortless rapport building. Don't dismiss it. Reinterpret it as a spotlight on a natural talent. Think about the problems people bring you. Friends call to vent and sort through feelings. They're seeking your empathy. Colleagues pull you into derailed projects. They're relying on your problem-solving and strategic thinking. Social roles often mirror your strongest strengths. You're drafted into positions where you make the biggest contribution. Pay attention to what others ask of you. It's a reliable way to find innate gifts. Clues also come as surprise. You offer a creative idea and someone says, "Wow, I would have never thought of that." That surprise is a gap between expectation and contribution. It signals divergent thinking and a unique perspective. Phrases of admiration, expressions of envy, consistent requests for help, moments of surprise together help you gather evidence of hidden talents, one casual remark at a time. Section 4. From Observation to Action, 5 Steps to Uncover Your Superpowers. Recognizing that others see our strengths is just the beginning. To truly benefit from this external insight, we need a systematic way to capture, interpret, and act on it. Without a deliberate process, these valuable nuggets of feedback can easily be forgotten, dismissed, or lost in the noise of daily life. The goal is to transform passive hearing into active learning. Here are 5 practical steps you can take to harness social feedback and begin to consciously wield your superpowers for your growth and the benefit of those around you. These steps will help you build a more accurate and empowering self-concept, one that is grounded in real-world evidence. First, pay attention to patterns. A single compliment can be easily dismissed as a kind gesture. But when you hear the same observation from different people in different contexts, it is no longer a coincidence. It is a pattern. If your boss, your partner, your friend will independently tell you that you are great at simplifying complex ideas, it is highly likely that you are a gifted communicator. Start noticing these repetitions. They are the most reliable indicators of a genuine underlying strength. The frequency and consistency of the feedback are what give it weight and credibility, making it much harder to ignore or explain away as a mere fluke. Second, keep a resource journal. Our brains are wired with a negativity bias, making it easier to remember criticism than praise. To counteract this, create a dedicated journal where you write down the positive feedback you receive. When someone compliments your work, your character, or your skills, write it down. Note the date, the person who said it, and the specific words they used. This is not an act of ego. It is an exercise in data collection. Over time, this journal will become a powerful repository of evidence of your capabilities. On days when you feel uncertain or discouraged, reading through it can provide a much-needed boost of confidence, reminding you of the value you bring to others. Third, reflect on the context. Once you have identified a potential strength, ask yourself, when and where does this strength show up? Do people praise your creativity most during unstructured brainstorming sessions? Or is your methodical nature most appreciated when a project is nearing its deadline? Understanding the context helps you see your strength not as an abstract trait, but as a practical tool that is effective in specific situations. This awareness allows you to deploy your strength more intentionally. If you know you excel at mediating conflict, you can proactively step into tense situations at work or at home, knowing you can make a positive difference. Oh, it was nothing. Anyone could have done it. This not only diminishes our own strength, but also subtly invalidates the other person's observation. Practice a new response. A simple and sincere, "Thank you, I really appreciate you saying that," is all that is needed. Accepting praise does not mean you are arrogant. It means you are open to learning about yourself and you respect the judgment of the person offering the feedback. It keeps the channel of communication open for future insights. Section 5. Putting feedback into practice. A gentle guide. Once you've started collecting and accepting feedback, integrate these insights into your life. It is one thing to know you have a superpower. It is another to know how to use it. Turning others' observations into internal confidence requires a gentle, experimental mindset. You aren't trying to become someone else. You're becoming more of who you already are. Test the feedback you've received. Seek more specific information. Find ways to amplify your strengths in daily work and relationships. Start with a small, manageable experiment. For 1 week, pick one recurring piece of feedback. For example, you're good at making people feel included. Your mission? Consciously practice that skill for a week. In every meeting, in every social gathering. Notice if someone is being quiet. Notice if someone is left out. Gently bring them into the conversation. At the end of the week, reflect on the experience. Did it feel natural? What was the impact on others? Move from knowing a strength intellectually to feeling its power in action. Ask for specific feedback when you can. Unsolicited praise is wonderful. Solicited feedback can be even more powerful. Avoid vague questions like, "How am I doing?" Ask targeted questions instead. You mentioned you liked my presentation. What was one specific thing about it that you found effective? When you said I was a good listener, what did I do that made you feel heard? Those specific details become a concrete playbook of behaviors. They turn a generic strength into a refined skill. Balance external feedback with your values and goals. Praise is informative, not the sole driver of identity or career choices. Being good at something doesn't mean you must build your life around it, especially if you don't enjoy it. Use feedback to understand capabilities, then filter it through your purpose. Superpowers are most potent when aligned with what you find meaningful. Don't chase praise, use it as a guide to make an impactful, personally fulfilling contribution. Section 6. The view from outside, your path to fuller self-knowledge. In the end, the journey to understanding ourselves is a dual-path process. It requires us to look inward. It requires us to look outward. While introspection helps us connect with our values and motivations, the view from the outside often illuminates our greatest talents. The people in our lives act as our mirrors. They reflect a version of us that is authentic, impactful, and often more capable than we believe. Their casual remarks, their requests for help, their words of admiration. These are not just noise, they are critical data points for a fuller self-portrait. They see the effect of our magic even when we have forgotten we were casting a spell. Embracing this external perspective requires a small but profound shift in mindset. Listen with more openness, accept praise with more grace, view ourselves with a little less harshness. Have humility to accept that others may know us, in some ways, better than we know ourselves. This is not a weakness, but a strength. By welcoming their insights, we are enriching our self-concept, adding new layers of data, correcting for our blind spots, building a foundation of confidence that rests on evidence, not ego. This path is also one of reciprocity. As you become more attuned to feedback, you become better at giving it. You will start to notice hidden superpowers in others. The quiet colleague who is a master of detail, the friend who can find humor in any situation, the partner whose steadfastness is the rock of your family. By articulating what you admire, you give them the gift of sight. You help them see their own value more clearly. This act of praise strengthens relationships and creates a virtuous cycle of mutual recognition and growth. So listen closely today. Pay attention to the whispers of strength around you. The reflection you see in the eyes of others may not be perfect, but it is often an accurate view of your best self. Look into that social mirror without flinching. You may not just find more of who you are, you may discover the person you have the potential to become. Your greatest powers are already there, waiting to be seen. Sometimes you just need someone else to point them out to you. They are social mirrors, showing angles we'd otherwise miss. The manager who notes your unflappable calm during a crisis. The friend who marvels at your ability to organize a group trip effortlessly. The family member who relies on your steady advice. Recognizing this is the first step to owning and honing hidden strengths, turning what feels mundane into a powerful tool for success and fulfillment. Learning to see ourselves as others see us isn't vanity. It's essential to building a complete, accurate picture of who we are.